Do you think you'll see any new types of businesses emerging after COVID as a result of COVID? I
Well,
mean, obviously you see things like people selling masks now, right? But I'm
mhm.
curious if you think there's any other types of industries that'll emerge.
You know, I don't think that like in order to answer your question, I think that the question is like, will there be completely new businesses? And like, I don't think so. But I think there will be shifts in how all businesses think about their business. So for example, like will travel and leisure and hospitality have to think very different? Like, will they create a whole new business? No, but like maybe the shift goes more to like Airbnb, right? Where if I'm going to go to a city, I don't really want to stay at the Hilton or the Hyatt in a 50 floor, hotel, having to go up and down past the lobby. Maybe my mind goes, well, you know what? I'd rather just be at someone's house and they're going to curate this experience for me. And I'll still travel and I'll still do these things, but like I'm going to change the way that I do it. So the business isn't different, but the way that we think about it and how the business has to handle it becomes different. And then will that then spark a Hilton or a Hyatt to say, hey, look, we're going to initially start off with we're going to offer COVID free floors where everyone on this floor you're going to know has had a vaccine, and then we're going to have a certification that all of our employees and staff have had it. I mean, there's like that will probably come as far as like a consequence of it. So then the shift of them doing those things, or we're going to rent out, we'll have one pool side that'll have COVID free type. I mean, like those will be, I think, shifts. But and
Sounds like
then
segregation
and
again.
well, it's going to be a form of it, I think, for a minute. Um, but again, to really answer your question, I think that, yeah, I think there will be some things that will feel like they came out of this, but I think also there's a lot of things that were already coming. That I just look at COVID as such an accelerator. It's like
Mhm.
it forced us to be in a position where we had to innovate, where we had to think differently, and we had to do it quickly. These things were already happening, like autonomous vehicles. It was already happening. Like, companies have been working on this for 5, 10, 15 years. So the idea that, will a car pick you up at some point and there's no driver and it takes where you go? Absolutely. Right? Like that's going to happen, and it's going to become so ubiquitous and so normal. But right now it might seem like, and some people may make the correlation that, oh, well, it's because people don't want to be around people or they don't want to worry about it. But no, like that was just cost effective. And so that things like travel, I mean, Airbnb people already felt like was such a major disruptor in travel and hospitality. So, that, I mean, then if you get into things like Bitcoin, talking about paper money versus paying on your phone or digital assets. So I think the bigger shifts are definitely going to be in the way that we do things and the way we think about business more than that there'll be all these new businesses because, yeah, mask thing, yeah, that's a reactionary business,
Yeah,
but I don't
plexiglass.
think yeah, and I don't think people are going to be like, you know what, COVID's over. I got still, where's my mask at? Like, I don't think people are going to really feel like that. But I do think, yeah, there'll be just fundamental shifts in how we consume things. Obviously, like e-commerce is here to stay. Like, there's just no doubt that people have realized that, like, okay, I need to get my car washed. Let me go on the app. I need to order something from the store, Amazon. Let me get, I mean, obviously streaming movies from home now, where a blockbuster movie is going to be released like literally the same day as it would have gone in the theater. So I mean, you're going to have that option. And I think this weekend, right? Like, is Wonder Woman is they're saying is like the first blockbuster
That's
that's
yeah,
going to
I
be
could
released.
see that. That's funny. We just ordered what's it called? Unhinged with Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
Same type of scenario. I think supposed to go straight to
yeah,
theater, but was not an option. We paid two
yeah.
ninety nine for it on Amazon.
All right. So I mean, and people will still go to theaters, but like I think those are going to be the interesting things again to really kind of get back to your question, like how do those businesses respond? So like the thing to me that's interesting is what does Hyatt do when market share just like diminishes? What does AMC do when the like how do those companies respond? And ultimately, I think what do they do that's going to be super exciting and innovative and like that you're like, damn, that's so cool. Like I got to go to the theater because what they're offering is so amazing. Or if a hotel or company says like, hey, we're going to give people this great experience, like we're gonna partner with this like cruise line and helicopter company and blah blah blah. And when you book a room, we're gonna have a taxi that's gonna take you or to this place, and you're gonna have this package of experience. at some point they can scale to do that, and offer you something that's so hard to refuse. And you go, well, yeah, the Airbnb is nice, but look at what we're getting here. And that's going to be the interesting thing to see, is how these companies and these businesses and these sectors react.
Right. It's funny. It's almost like a lot of this stuff goes along with convenience as well. Whether it's Airbnb, whether it's ordering your groceries online. Obviously we've seen that trend over the last couple of years. I think, like you said, this will just accelerate it.
Yeah. Well, and it always reminds me of how, when you work at a company and you get some new technology, or the company says, hey guys, we're going to shift everything over to Oracle or some other thing. And everyone's like, oh God, I got to learn a new system. It's like the adoption rate for people is so hard. And so think about this too. It's not like you couldn't get your, groceries delivered a year ago or 2 years ago. It's just that we just were in our routines. We're so used to okay, let's get up, go to the store, go to the movie. So now that you were forced to think a different way, you were forced to think it, you're actually now in a place where you start to realize, just like at the company, when you implement the new technology, wow, this actually is easier. This actually does make our lives simpler and more convenient. Then you just learn to love it, right? Because before you didn't. So now when you go, oh, I can just order my groceries at Vaughn's or Ralph's or something. And then if I even want to drive there because I want to pay the delivery, they have a spot where someone's just going to bring it down and put it on my trunk. Awesome. Or I can have it delivered. Once you've realized that and you had to think that way, it changed your mindset too.
This has been The Invested Life with Adam Khalil. Subscribe, like, comment, but most importantly, share the information you learned, and share the video with a friend or someone who you think might find value from it.